Picture this. You meet Sarah at a coffee shop. Great conversation, genuine laughs, real connection. You exchange numbers, text back and forth, maybe grab dinner. Everything feels right. But then, nothing. She pulls back, goes cold, and you're left wondering what the hell happened. Here's the thing. You probably think you understand how attraction works. You think it's about being funny, successful, or good-looking. Let me tell you something. When it comes to how women fall in love, most men are playing a completely different game than the one that's actually happening. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share will change how you approach every interaction with women. This isn't theory. This is the psychology behind genuine, lasting attraction. First, understand this. Women fall in love through emotional progression, not logical checklists. Let's talk about Mark. Mark's a good guy. 6-figure income, great apartment, works out regularly. On paper, he's a catch. But Mark keeps getting friend-zoned, and he can't figure out why. Here's Mark's mistake. He's trying to convince women to like him through resume building. He talks about his job, his accomplishments, his future plans. Logical stuff, impressive stuff. But women don't fall in love with your resume. They fall in love with how you make them feel. Think about it like this. Imagine you're watching a movie. You don't fall in love with the character because the narrator tells you he's successful. You fall in love because you feel his struggles, his vulnerability, his growth. That's emotional engagement. When Sarah pulled back from that coffee shop guy, it wasn't because he wasn't good enough on paper, it was because he never created an emotional experience. He interviewed for the position instead of creating a connection. The truth is, women fall in love through emotional progression, a journey from curiosity to fascination to genuine care. Your job isn't to impress her, it's to take her on that journey. Here's what most men miss. Mystery and uncertainty create emotional investment. Here's something that'll blow your mind. The woman who's completely sure about you from day one, she's probably not that into you. I know that sounds backwards, but think about Ryan. Ryan meets Emma at a party. Instead of following her around all night, he talks to her for 10 minutes, makes her laugh, then moves on. Doesn't chase, doesn't overwhelm her with attention. What happens? Emma spends the rest of the party thinking about those 10 minutes. She's intrigued. She's invested. This is called the uncertainty principle, and it's psychology, not games. When someone's interest in us is predictable, our brain stops working to figure them out. But when there's mystery, when there's something to discover, that's when emotional investment happens. Look, I'm not telling you to be an asshole or play hard to get. I'm telling you that desperation kills attraction faster than anything else. When you're too available, too eager, too predictable, you remove the very thing that creates emotional pull. Women fall in love with men they have to think about when they're not around. Give her something to think about. But here's the deeper truth. Emotional safety creates the foundation for love. Now here's where most dating advice gets it wrong. They tell you to be mysterious, to be challenging, to keep her guessing. But here's what they miss. Beneath all that intrigue, she needs to feel emotionally safe with you. Let me tell you about James. James understood the mystery part. He wasn't too available, kept things interesting, created intrigue, but every time things got deeper, women would pull away. Why? Because James never learned how to create emotional safety. Emotional safety isn't about being boring or predictable. It's about being consistent in your character. It's showing up as the same authentic person, whether you're having fun or dealing with stress. It's about making her feel like she can be herself without judgment. Think of it like a dance. The mystery and uncertainty, that's the excitement, the chemistry, the spark. But emotional safety, that's the foundation that makes her want to keep dancing with you. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, she can relax into her femininity. She can be vulnerable. She can start imagining a future. Without that safety, everything else is just surface-level attraction that fades when real life hits. And this is crucial. Women need to feel chosen, not just pursued. Here's the difference between chasing and choosing, and it's crucial. When you chase a woman, you're essentially saying, "Please pick me." When you choose her, you're saying, "I see something special in you." Most guys become hunters the moment they meet someone they like. They pursue relentlessly, hoping persistence will win the day. But here's the thing, being pursued by someone desperate doesn't feel good. It feels overwhelming. But being chosen by someone who has options, someone who could be with other people but specifically wants to be with you, that's intoxicating. Let's say you're talking to Lisa. Instead of showering her with generic compliments about her looks, you notice something specific about her personality. Maybe she has this way of making everyone in the group feel included. You acknowledge that. You tell her you find that quality rare and attractive. That's not pursuit, that's recognition. You're not chasing her because she's a woman. You're interested in her because of who she is specifically. That distinction changes everything. Women want to feel like they matter to you for reasons beyond just availability. They want to feel seen, understood, chosen for their unique qualities. Finally, and this might be the most important, consistency in character builds trust over time. The final piece of how women fall in love, they need to see who you really are when things get difficult. Anyone can be charming on a first date. Anyone can be fun when everything's going well. But who are you when you're stressed, when plans change, when life gets complicated? This is where most relationships either deepen or die. Sarah from the coffee shop. She didn't just disappear because of lack of spark. She disappeared because when the waiter messed up their order, her date became a completely different person. Rude, impatient, entitled. In that moment, she saw his real character, and it wasn't attractive. Women fall in love with your character, not your performance. They fall in love with how you treat people who can't do anything for you, how you handle disappointment, how you respond to their boundaries. This takes time. Real love, the kind that lasts, develops as someone sees your consistent character across different situations. It's not about being perfect. It's about being authentically yourself, even when it's not convenient. The truth about how women fall in love. Here's what I want you to understand. Women don't fall in love with perfect men. They fall in love with authentic men who make them feel something real. The coffee shop scenario I started with, that guy failed because he was performing instead of connecting. He was trying to be impressive instead of being impressive. He was focused on getting her to like him instead of discovering if he actually liked her. Real attraction happens when emotional connection meets character consistency, when mystery meets safety, when choosing meets being chosen. Stop trying to convince women to love you. Start creating the conditions where love can naturally develop. Be someone worth thinking about, but also someone worth trusting. Create intrigue, but build it on a foundation of authentic character. That's how women fall in love, not with your resume or your pickup lines or your strategies. With the man you actually are when you stop trying so hard to be someone else. The woman who's right for you. She's waiting to meet that authentic version of you. Stop hiding him behind performance and let her find him.